A lot of people dream about owning a restaurant franchise. On paper, it looks like a quick path to making millions. But what if I told you it might not be the best way to build wealth? What if there's a better franchise model? One that's easier to run, cheaper to start, and doesn't drain your time, energy, or bank account. I'm talking about a vending machine franchise. I've been in the vending business for over 6 years now. And in this video, I'm putting vending machine versus restaurant franchise side by side. We're gonna break down how much it costs to get started, how much time each business takes, what kind of income you can actually expect, and what kind of lifestyle comes with it. If you're looking for a smart side hustle or a new way to make steady income, this might be the video that changes how you see business forever. Let's get into it. Number one, let's talk about startup and operating costs. If you thought about opening a restaurant, you've probably heard how expensive it can be. That's one of the main reasons people choose to franchise instead of starting a business from scratch. But let's break down the numbers to see exactly what you're getting into when you franchise a restaurant. Starting a restaurant franchise will cost you anywhere from $250K all the way to $2 million. Even if you're looking at a well-known food chain like Subway or Dunkin', you'll still need between $100K and $1 million just to get started. And all of this is before you see any return on your investment. Here's what you're paying for: franchise fees, real estate lease costs, renovation slash build out costs, equipment, signage, inventory, in-person training costs, marketing and advertising fees, insurance, licensing and permitting, technology, uniforms, legal, professional fees, working capital, staff, you get it. Leasing a space alone can cost $120,000 all the way to $1 million each year, depending on the location. And if you're in a busy city like LA or New York, the rent will definitely be on the higher end. Restaurants are also stuck with long-term leases, meaning if the location doesn't work out for whatever reason, you're still paying for years. This makes the restaurant business riskier than other options. Now, let's compare that to a vending machine franchise. Getting started with a vending business is way cheaper. You can get started for only $50,000 to $100,000. And this usually includes everything you need to get going. Just like the costs I listed for a restaurant, but without the rent, renovations, and staff. Plus, a lot of vending franchises like Podplug, which is my vending franchise, helps you find the locations for your machines. That's a huge bonus. Even if you want to expand your vending business, it's rare to spend more than $100,000. But here's one key difference. With vending, you don't need to lease or pay rent like a restaurant does. Instead, you typically pay a small commission, which is nominal, to the location where you'll place your vending machine. Usually that's around 10 to 12% of your sales maximum. In some scenarios, 20% if it's a huge location. And in some scenarios also, you might not even need to pay commissions at all, since vending machines are often viewed as an amenity to the location. It's a simpler, leaner business model. When I first started my vending business, I didn't have to worry about huge upfront costs or long-term leases. Back in 2019, I started with just a couple jewel pod vending machines at the University of Miami. Each of my machines was making around $4,000 a month in revenue. And by 2021, I'd expanded into bars and nightclubs in Austin, Texas. And one of those locations became our highest grossing machine, making $16,000 in a single month. And all of this was done without a big team. Now, on to staffing and labor costs. Staffing is where restaurants get more expensive than vending machines. For a restaurant, you need cooks, servers, managers, and a cleaning crew. That means payroll, schedules, sick days, and turnover. They're costs that drain your energy and your profits. With vending, it's a different story. For a long time, I ran my business solo and I stocked my machines all by myself. I didn't hire a single person until I scaled up to 20 machines. That's when I brought on someone part-time to help me restock my machine. It was so simple and gave me the freedom to focus on growing my business. Now, let's talk utility. This is another area where restaurants can quickly rack up the costs. Running a restaurant means paying for things like kitchen equipment, HVAC system, water, lighting, and other operational costs. These expenses add up quickly. With vending, the location where you place your machines typically covers the electricity. Even then, it costs the location literally $5 a month to power just a single machine. Most vending machines are designed to be super energy efficient. All right, let's recap. Restaurant franchises involve high startup costs for things like franchise fees, real estate, and equipment, ongoing overhead for staff, utilities, and daily operations, expensive leases and long-term commitments, daily management demands from prep to customer service, and utility bills that add up very quickly. Vending franchises, on the other hand, offer lower startup costs and less upfront investment, reduced overhead with minimal staff and no rent, no long-term leases, just small commission fees for locations, less daily management, allowing for more flexibility, and low operational costs with electricity usually covered by the location. Number 2, time and flexibility. One of the biggest advantages of vending is that your machines run 24/7 even while you sleep. Once they're set up in a good location, you don't even need to be there. No staff, no set hours, and no constant supervision. In contrast, restaurants are tied to a schedule. You have set hours, daily prep, cleanup, and a team to manage. That means high costs and constant attention and management. You need to be involved every single day. With vending, you can manage everything from your iPhone. I use Nayax, which gives me real-time sales data, tracks performance, and tells me when to restock my machine. So whether I'm on the beach or at home, my business just keeps running. Try doing that with a restaurant. If you own a restaurant, especially a franchise, you're often stuck in the building. Vending is different. It requires minimal staff, and the biggest tasks are restocking and simple repairs. Even when something does break, it's far less stressful than managing a restaurant. With vending, you have the option to run it part-time, automate most of the work, or hire someone to handle it while you step back so they can focus on restocking the machines and you can focus on growing your route of vending machine. This kind of flexibility is rare in the restaurant world. Plus, it's better for your customers. They don't even need to wait in line to worry about hours. They can get what they need any time of the day. So if you want time freedom and a business that works with your lifestyle, vending wins every time. Number 3, business success rate. Imagine this. You invest your time, energy, and life savings into an independent restaurant. You open the doors, full of hope. But here's the cold, hard reality. 17% of restaurants fail in the first year. But by year 5, nearly half are out of business. So if half of all the restaurants won't make it to year 5, serious problem. But when you invest in a restaurant franchise, the survival rate jumps to 85% beyond 5 years. Now, let's look into vending. Independent vending businesses have an 80 to 90% success rate. So if you go this route, you're likely going to make it past 5 years as well. No doubt. Both vending and restaurant franchises have good success rates, but each come with its own set of challenges. For vending, failure is usually due to bad location choice, poor cash flow management, and neglecting machine maintenance. But luckily, these problems can be solved with just a bit of attention and strategy. But for restaurants, on the other hand, the issues are a bit more complex. There are rising food costs, staffing challenges, and shifting consumer habits like the rise of delivery apps. So, which business would you bet on for success? Let me know in the comments. Number 4, let's talk profitability. Because at the end of the day, that's what matters most. Restaurants can bring in high revenue, but the profit margins aren't so great. Here's why. You've got high operating costs, which include labor, rent, food, and utilities eat a huge chunk of your revenue. Then there's staffing, payroll, benefits, training, turnover. That adds up quickly. Rent, it's a major ongoing cost, and food costs always fluctuate. One month you might see lower prices, and the next you're paying 30% more for your ingredients. Success in the restaurant world comes down to location and how well you manage operations. Even with a great brand and a fantastic menu, if you're in the wrong spot or can't control your costs, your profit will definitely get squeezed. Yeah, on the other hand, let's look at vending. While individual vending machines typically bring in lower profit margins compared to restaurants, we're talking anywhere from $100 to $500 a week per machine, the real magic happens with scalability. When it comes to scaling a business, the challenges really depend on the model you choose. Let's start with restaurant franchises. To scale a restaurant, you're not just opening more doors, you're building the entire setup from scratch every single time. That means finding and leasing a new location, hiring and training more staff, managing a better team, ordering more inventory, and dealing with way more day-to-day operations. For each new location, it adds complexity, overhead, and risk. It also stretches your time way thinner because now you're not just running one location, you're trying to keep several running smoothly. Scaling a restaurant takes serious time, serious money, and there's a lot that can go wrong along the way. Now, let's compare that to vending. The beauty of a vending machine business is that it's built to scale, but without the complexity. Here's what scaling looks like with vending. Just add more machines, expand into new markets, reinvest your profits into more machines, rinse and repeat. Each vending machine is like its own little profit center. Add more and your income grows, but your workload doesn't necessarily have to. You also don't need to hire a full team every time you grow. Most vending owners scale with just one route driver or a part-time person to help refill the machines. That's why vending is one of the easiest businesses to scale. It's low cost, low maintenance, and does not require a huge upfront commitment that restaurants do. There you go, my friend. I just gave you the exact breakdown of how vending machine franchises stack up against restaurants. I hope you found these insights valuable because the numbers don't lie. Vending offers a better path with less risk, lower costs, and a model that works around your lifestyle. And if you're still there watching and thinking, okay, how do I actually get started? Well, here's the good news. I'm now franchising my nightlife vending machine business called Podplug. We place machines in bars and nightclubs, and we've done over $6 million in vending sales to date. But this isn't your typical chips and soda vending machine. We sell products that cater specifically to nightlife. I've linked the video above so you can check it out and see what makes us different. And if you're ready to jump into the nightlife vending space, Podplug might be the perfect fit. I've dropped a link in the description where you can apply to become a franchisee. For me, this is all about partnering with people who actually care about our success. We don't just hand you a machine and wish you luck. Here's exactly what we do different. We help you secure high traffic locations so you're setting up the right machines from day one, comprehensive training on everything, from 4 days of in-person training at our headquarters in Dallas, Texas, to flying all the way out to you to set up your first few machines. We have high quality machines and updated inventory to keep you stocked and ready to go. We also have a network of technicians, movers, and service providers always on hand to help, so you're not left figuring things out alone. And when something does go wrong, we have 24/7 troubleshooting to get you back up and running as fast as possible. This is real support all the way from A to Z to help you scale your vending business the right way. And even if you're just 1% curious about how this could work for you, check it out, see if it's a fit. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'm rooting for you as you build your vending machine business.